Well, this speech cannot break the political deadlock in and of itself, but it is possible that it will help Laurent Gbagbo strengthen his position in power, at least for a while. Mr. Gbagbo adopted a much more conciliatory tone yesterday than his camp has done over the past week. Officially, he asked the international community for help in resolving the crisis. He extended an olive branch to his adversary, Alassane Ouattara. He lifted the curfew, and he sent an overall reassuring message to the world and to Ivorians, saying that he wants to avoid war and violence. And this speech was really quite clever because it puts the international community in the awkward position of having to refuse the demands by Laurent Gbagbo for help. It forces his political adversary, Alassane Ouattara, to refuse Laurent Gbagbo's renewed calls for negotiations. So overall, the strategy of appeasement could well buy him some time. And most observers agree that time plays in his favor.
So that's for the political side. What about on the ground? Now, as you just mentioned there, the curfew has now been suspended. What is the atmosphere like?
Well, we spent the first night without a curfew for the last 3 weeks in a Ouattara stronghold. And one might think that lifting the curfew would ease tensions. Well, that wasn't the case. It really wasn't the case last night. People are afraid. For the last 5 days or so, since last Thursday's violence, there have been reports in Ouattara strongholds of night raids by armed men who have been harassing the population, who have been sometimes abducting them. Reports of abduction have been confirmed by the United Nations. And what I saw last night were neighborhoods in undergoing total psychosis. They're very afraid. They're putting barricades up at night. They're making a racket in the middle of the night to wake up everyone because they think they've seen intruders. So for the moment, still a worrying and tense situation in those neighborhoods, despite the curfew having been lifted.